So now that we have the daisy chain kind of base of our Hypo-Wrap system set up here, so this is going to be the rope system to secure it, we're going to lay down our Hypo-Wrap system on top. And this is a system to combat the 4 methods of heat transfer. So first of all, we have convection. So that's going to be our wind and air movement. So we're going to use a large tarp here. And what we found was a good size is actually an 8-foot by 10-foot tarp. Seems to be big enough. It kind of meets the sweet spot of like lightweight, but also big enough to actually make your wrap system. So we kind of want to center that on our system here. We're going to lay that out nice and flat. So that's going to combat convection. Then for conductive heat loss, that's the hot object sitting on a cold object. We're going to throw in a sleeping pad. So this is an inflatable sleeping pad. These are nice and compact and durable. This is the one we include in our Hypo-Wrap system, but you could use any sort of sleeping pad. And again, we're going to lay that in the middle. Then for radiation, we're going to use a sleeping bag. So this is the sleeping bag we include in our system. It's a mummy type sleeping bag. Now you could definitely use a high quality one. It all depends on use case. This is for a Hypo-Wrap system that we have with search and rescue teams. So this needs to be fairly disposable in terms of, it may not come back from your patient. So we're going to lay this down. We're going to get our hood kind of centered here. And we're going to offset this from our sleeping pad. Just like this. And this allows us, once we put our patient inside, then we can wrap them up in this. So that's for radiation. And then we have evaporation. And that's any wet skin touching the air, wet clothing, that's going to affect the patient's heat movement. So we don't want to lose that evaporative heat. So what we're going to do inside this is place our patient in an emergency bivy sack. So this is a Mylar lined bag. These are super durable. So we're going to slide our patient inside here. If you didn't have that, you could use another inner tarp, or you could use a few emergency blankets. So that's the setup of our Hypo-Wrap system. Then we're going to secure a patient next.